A Jelly Roll concert turned into a security guard quitting his job on the spot after an outrage. This is not what anyone expected to happen during this event. However, the security guard was fed up with what happened and threw his vest at his supervisor. Jelly Roll concerts usually do not cause a lot of chaos, but this one was the exception. Keep reading to find out more about this situation and what happened. Security guard quits his job during Jelly Roll concert. During a show in North Dakota, a young fan who was in a wheelchair moved in front of the barricade to be able to see the show. If they were anywhere else, they obviously could not see. The security guard did not move the fan and let him stay there. However, this did not sit well with his supervisor. There is a video of his supervisor telling him that he was going to be fired if he did not move the fan. However, the security guard refused to do so and ended up quitting his job on the spot. He threw his vest at his boss, grabbed his things, and walked out of the stadium. A lot of people applauded him for this. The ex-worker speaks out on what happened. This was something unexpected that happened at Jelly Roll's concert. However, Bunny XO, Jelly Roll's wife, saw the video and wanted to find the security guard. It seems that they did, and who knows what they are going to do for him. However, the security guard also spoke out on the issue and what happened. If they don't mind if people are there, this fella needs to be where he can see. My boss came up to me and he said I wasn't doing my job and that I was incompetent. This then led to him walking out on the job. Fans were happy to see that he did the right thing and applauded him for his actions. It seems as though the security guard refused to move the young person in the wheelchair. He did not see any problem with him sitting there when it was the only place he could see. He was not going to move him out of the way. It seems that Bunny XO and Jelly Roll wanted to get in touch with the security guard. They are more than likely going to thank him for not moving the child. What do you think about this? Are you shocked this happened? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear your opinions on this. Jelly Roll concert turns into security guard quitting after outrage. A work of fiction. 1. Prologue, the calm before the storm. Nashville was sweltering that night. The air around the Bridgestone Arena was thick with humidity and the electric hum of a sold-out crowd. Thousands of fans, tattoos glinting under streetlights, boots pounding the pavement, lined up for what promised to be one of Jelly Roll's most explosive shows of the year. Inside, security guards moved like clockwork, checking bags, scanning tickets, and exchanging tired but good-natured nods with each other. Among them was Earl Big E. Thompson, a 42-year-old veteran of event security. He'd worked everything from country music festivals to UFC fights, and his broad-shouldered presence was enough to make rowdy fans think twice. But tonight felt different. Maybe it was the sheer size of the crowd, or maybe it was the fact that Jelly Roll's fanbase was a wild mix. Country diehards, hip-hop heads, bikers, and church ladies, all under one roof. Biggie knew that meant emotions could run high. 2. Jelly Roll hits the stage. The moment the lights dropped, the arena roared like a jet engine. Jelly Roll burst onto the stage in a black hoodie, arms wide, grinning like a man who'd just won the lottery. "Y'all ready to get loud?" he shouted. The crowd answered with a deafening, "Yeah." He tore through the opening number, Creature, his voice raw and raspy, the bass rattling the seats. Big E stood at the front barricade, scanning the pit for trouble. People were dancing, singing, crying. It was chaos in the best possible way. 3. Trouble brews in the pit. About 45 minutes in, during Save Me, Big E noticed a commotion near the left side of the stage. Two women were screaming at each other, faces inches apart, drinks sloshing onto the floor. He moved quickly, weaving through the crowd with practiced ease. "All right, ladies, let's step it back," he said, putting his hands out. One of them, a woman in a red tank top, snapped, "She shoved me." The other fired back, "You spilled beer all over my phone." Big E was trying to calm them when someone from behind shoved forward. A drink splashed across his shirt. Then someone shouted, "Don't touch her, man," and suddenly there were 3 other people in the mix. 4. The viral moment. Phones came out instantly. Fans started recording as Big E, now surrounded, tried to separate the group. One man grabbed his arm, yanking him backward. Big E pushed him away, not hard, but enough to make him stumble. The crowd gasped. "Whoa! That's assault!" someone yelled. More voices joined in, chanting, "Let her stay! Let her stay!" as Big E tried to escort the red tank top woman toward the exit. On stage, Jelly Roll had stopped mid-song, squinting toward the disturbance. "Yo, y'all good down there?" he called out into the mic. The cameras from the big screens zoomed in, not just on the fight, but on Big E himself. In seconds, the entire arena knew something was going down. 5. Jelly Roll steps in. To the shock of everyone, Jelly Roll hopped down from the stage and walked straight toward the barricade. The crowd parted like water. "Big man, what's happening here?" he asked Big E. "She's gotta go. Been causing trouble since the first set," Big E explained, still gripping the woman's arm. The woman yelled, "I didn't do anything." Her friends were filming, shouting that security was out of line. Jelly Roll glanced at the cameras, then back at Big E. "Brother, let her go. We're here to have a good time. We don't need to make this bigger." Big E hesitated. He'd been in situations like this before, but never with the artist himself stepping in on the fan side. Finally, he released her arm. The crowd erupted in cheers. 6. The tipping point. Big E stepped back, but his face was tight, jaw locked. To him, it wasn't just about one fan, it was about authority, about doing his job and keeping people safe. He went back to his post, but whispers were already spreading. "That's the guy," people were saying, pointing at him. The phones hadn't gone away. If anything, there were more of them now. By the next song, Big E's radio crackled. "Management wants to talk to you," a voice said. Backstage, his supervisor tried to smooth things over. "Just stay low. PR's already working on this." The clip's blowing up on TikTok. Big E stared at him. "PR? This ain't a game. I was doing my job." 7. The breaking point. Halfway through the next set, Big E felt a tap on his shoulder. It was one of the production crew. "Hey, we need you to take the night off. People are pretty worked up." That was it. He pulled the security badge off his shirt, handed it over, and said, "You know what? I'm done." Without waiting for a reply, he walked out of the arena, the muffled thump of Jelly Roll's music fading behind him. 8. The aftermath. By the time Big E got home, the videos had gone viral. Headlines screamed, "Security guard manhandles fan at Jelly Roll concert. Jelly Roll steps in to stop security clash. Was this guard out of line?" The comment sections were split. Some people said Big E was a hero for trying to keep the peace. Others called him a bully. 9. Jelly Roll's statement. 2 days later, Jelly Roll posted a video on Instagram. Sitting in his tour bus, he said,